Hey everybody, welcome Quad Life post-op weeks number 5 through 6. Alright, so starting off here, week 5, it was a good beginning to week 5. So I was sitting on the edge of my bed and I have this wedge that I've been putting underneath me for comfort and for support. And I decided to do a straight leg raise, and I was able to actually pick my leg up and move it some. And that was really exciting because that's the first time I'd been able to do that without any significant pain where the repair is. So I had a good feeling that that was progress. And around that same time, I noticed that my knee has significantly become less swollen. And it's like, I actually have a knee. Some of the definition was coming back. And with that, the patella was able to move it a little bit more. So there was some major developments right at the beginning of week 5. I do think that it was just time that my tendon itself was starting to gel a little bit more. It felt different. Like up until that point, the repair site was just super hard and inflamed. But there was some type of characteristic to it. The texture of it started to feel more kind of jelly and pliable. And so I feel like the tendon is actually starting to do some of the work versus just the sutures. Because before it was super painful to try to do that straight leg raise. I'd feel it right where those sutures are. So I feel like the tendon is getting more sticky. In addition, I think what's really helped me was those side kicks, laying on my side and kicking the leg up, mostly to help strengthen the hip, but I'm really trying to reach that leg out and just really stretch it as if I was trying to put my leg through a pant leg, like really stretch it through. And I really felt something kind of connect, like all the muscles wrapping around the leg were coming to the party. And once that connection happened, I feel like the straight leg raised was assisted from all the other muscles being part of the team, so to speak. I have to tell you, by doing these range of motion exercises and getting more bend in my knee, I think at this point, my goal was to try to get to 60, so I was somewhere in the range of 30 working on 60 in week 5. And the more I got to bend my knee, the more I was able to stretch my hamstring in different ways, stretch out my lower back, and would really start to feel some of that tension unlocking and unwinding. And it just felt really good to finally get access to these points of my body and these muscles that have been so locked down since the injury back in November. So it was very releasing and seemed very important. One of those things was being able to take a shower sitting on the chair in there and be able to bend my knee and put it on the ground versus having it straight and hanging out on the side of the tub. I started doing some experimenting with opening my brace up to 20 degrees, allowing 20 degrees flexion in it, as I walked around with one crutch. So I figured that 20 degrees isn't a big enough bend that if in case I lost my balance, that it would do any harm to the knee. But I mean, if you're somebody experiencing this rehab and stuff like that, obviously do what your surgeon and PT tell you to do. This was just something that I was experimenting with because I wanted to get my walking gait back. Just being able to bend my knee a little bit so I didn't have to swing the leg around. That proved to be really nice for me and some relief while walking. I've been playing around with all different ways to get range of motion. So sitting in the chair, putting the foot anchoring on the floor and moving the hips forward, that one seems to be really effective. Or just the holds, sitting in the chair, finding a position and holding it in there. Also laying on my back and putting my feet up on the wall and then walking the leg down. Basically the same thing as sitting in the chair, but laying on the back and using the wall as the anchor point instead. And just doing the knee bends itself, unlocking the brace to the goal point, and putting all the weight into my uninjured leg and bending the knee down in there. The goal before week 6 PT was to get to 60 degrees. So didn't quite meet my goal, but still, it's a pretty big, what I would consider a pretty big leap from wherever I was at when they first said, go ahead and unlock your brace, which was back in week 3, where I had like barely 20 degrees, up until the post-op about week 6, getting closer to 60 degrees. And then I had my post-op 6-week appointment with my surgeon. And what's the report there was, well, first of all, we get there and I show him I can do a straight leg raise, and he also wanted me to do a little seated knee extension, which supposedly you're not supposed to do. It's an open chain exercise that comes later on down the road, but I could do it, and he's like, it works. And so that was a neat moment to experience, like, yeah, I mean, that was something I was not able to do since the injury happened, and now that mechanism actually works. So it was a pretty cool moment to have. He also told me to go ahead and lose the crutches, and that it is okay to walk with the brace unlocked at a certain degrees, so I can start practicing walking around. So that's what I've been doing now. I've been walking around. Well, I'm now up to sometimes 30 to 40 degrees, unlocking the brace and walking around with no crutches. And it's been working out really well. So I just have to be very careful. I mean, I have dogs, so when they're around, sometimes I'll go closer to 20, or just have to stay out of the way because I don't want any intrusion unexpectedly. So barring that from happening, I think I can manage walking around. So since I've been able to do that, I noticed I've been doing a lot more activities. I've been able to go outside more, like take out the trash and go get the mail, feed the chickens and take the compost out. All those little chores that just were not, safe to do, nor were they something that I had a huge, well, I kind of had a desire to do. I want to get back to my normal life, but there's just one of those things that had to make a decision to just say I can't do those things. So that is starting to happen more. I'm up on my feet more. It doesn't hurt. I'm able to really practice walking, and it's going well. Another huge thing was I was cleared to submerge my knee in water. So I love water. It is just part of my being. And taking a bath was amazing. Just being able to put my leg in the water, the rest of the scab finally came off. There's a relaxing that happens in the tub with that warm water that just felt so good that I haven't experienced in seems like forever. And then a discovery came that I'm able to do a lot of stuff in the tub. So I can do those range of motion exercises, so I get the knee all nice and warmed up. It feels good, I'm relaxed. I'm able to push it a little bit farther. Doing some very mild strengthening exercises in there since my body floats and is buoyant and slides. I'm able to do some very light strengthening, and yeah, it's like magic just being in there. I have been in the tub pretty much every day since that permission has been allowed. So yeah, it's pretty good. And the new goal since starting week 6 was to try to get my knee to bend to 90 degrees. And I was told by my PT that she'd really like to see me at 90 degrees by the time I saw her again. Saw her again yesterday, and I wasn't quite there. And I was at 78 degrees at my final measurement before I left yesterday. And I tell you, I've been trying, so it's not from a lack of effort. I am trying to finesse the knee into shape, and hopefully that method still will work, and I hope that I can carry that on. And I got some strengthening exercises that I can do, and they are the sit downs and stand up. And I have found like this great place in my kitchen right now. So the brace is locked out at 40, so no more bend than 40, and then sticking my butt way far back and counterbalancing, have a seat, and then standing back up again. And those are challenging, but they feel good. Like, they're a good challenge. My quad hurts. I mean, it doesn't feel great. Like right where that repair is, it's sore. I've had to make some executive decisions on, is this the type of pain that I work through, or is this the type of pain that is telling me that I've done too much, and to give it a break. So I've been kind of giving it more, leaning on the more side of giving it a break than pushing it too hard. But yeah, so those sit downs are, I was amazed that it made my butt really sore on my injured side leg because I haven't used the muscle in that way. Like driving the heels down and standing up. So I'll take that as a good sign. Definitely that's sore in a way of like, yeah, you worked out your muscle really well. So bringing that glute back on board I welcome it. So that's about it, my friends. Quad life has really consisted of me trying to get creative, inventive about getting range of motion in my leg, engaging it, but not doing too much, and staying persistent, but not obsessive. Sort of this delicate balance and dance with this recovery. I think it's very analogous to life itself and relationships. So this is a very intense relationship that I'm having with my leg right now, and it's been quite the learning curve and experience. And so I don't recommend it, really. I don't, but since I'm here, I'm trying to make the most of it. So okay, that's it. Hope it wasn't too boring. And yeah, if you like what you're seeing here, you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so, or at least give it a thumbs up, comments, ask me questions, whatever. Tell me to change my hat every once in a while. All right, thank you very much. See you next time.